like the ninth places and more like a LandCon did here today. We saw him get out at ninth, not just overpopulate one game with all of the staple characters or characters that are perceived to be strong. Like there are 3 Maypuls in top 8, but we get to see double Kragg, we get to see Claren, we get to see Zetterburn. We get a nice healthy mix of just about everything, especially if you extrapolate into the top 12 and top 16. But we get to see those 2 popular characters take the stage for winners finals. It is Ben L and Sinbad kicking things off.
Yeah, this is we saw a little bit of this matchup earlier, and if Ben L stays in, this is going to be a consistent one that we'll be seeing. Kragg Maypul. This is one of those things that, Maypul's going to be trying to outpace, outsmother, but Kragg, he's got the ranged options, and of course the pillar setups, pillar versus tether. I feel like who's got the best catch you off guard kill confirms?
Definitely pillar. Tether.
Definitely pillar.
Oh no. Okay. Getting caught a little bit there thanks to pillar putting you in special fall by just it breaking while you're on top of it. But the biggest change up when it comes to tether is the amount of counterplay there now is to it. Tether has so much delay on your action ability after tethering to it that you only really use tether now for desperation recoveries or confirms. And if your opponent's prepared, 99 times out of 10, if Maypul tethers to you, you're eating a down strong. Like, it's just what's happening.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, yeah, it's got pros and cons, and if Kragg players are able to generally deal with some of those setups as well, and like stay alive against like these setups as well. I mean, it's tough for Maypul to sometimes get the kill if it's not a tether or a tether nair in the blast zone. Has been consistent enough tonight. I definitely have seen quite a bit of that, but Sinbad is one of the biggest users of it. So tether into nair in the close blast zone, that's always a really nice option when things get rough.
Big up tilt into up air finisher, though, in order to keep things even. Gotta make Maypul work for it. If she's gonna play this big 50-50 game and have you in this absolute blender time after time after time, I mean 81% just like that on the side of Sinbad, whose proficiency knows no limits, then you gotta make her work for actually taking the stock. Meanwhile, you're threatening it right now.
Ooh, and I like the idea of using the down air to throw the rock shards down as well, covering the side of the stage. And of course, Maypul not going to be able to live much longer after that pressure lays its mark. Still waiting. Yeah, okay, we pull out the rock, and we've got the a little bit of the collateral damage. I think Maypul getting a little too greedy. Sinbad's starting to sense that, like, oh, I got to make a play here. I got to do something quick. And maybe that desperation's starting to set in.
Can get like that when you're so far behind, when you're both behind against Kragg and know you have to do that extra bit of damage to actually get Kragg into kill percent. But that's just gonna be a narrative forward air beautifully placed, and Kragg does Kragg things.
Definitely. I feel like Maypul just isn't able to survive that often enough. Obviously, a lackluster recovery, sans tether. But then beyond that, it's also being kind of light, having to deal with immense kill power in Kragg. And Kragg being able to take you right up to the edge of the blast zone and be like, look, I just got to tap it in. I don't have to have the strongest move. I don't even need to have you at the highest percent. But I'm just going to hit you, and things happen.
Couple misspacings on the tech chases there, Nerf, as I completely agree on what you're saying, right? Like, just
sure.
Kragg being able to use Nair as this all-purpose extender is such a blessing. Someone punished it. Ooh. Someone punished the high pillar.
At last, love to see it. Okay, yeah, that's a win for us everywhere.
That's a win for the people. That's a win for me.
That's a people. Yeah, that's right. It's a win for you. That's okay. As of right now, gotta watch out. Ooh, wow, that's bold to actually challenge that, especially when you see it start to release. I'm always like a little bit scared of that move. It's so big, and it will kill you at earlier percent. So, but now we get him with his rock, like holding the rock, and it's just all of a sudden you can actually take a lot of liberties here.
Yeah, the world is your oyster at this point if you're Sinbad, because you are gaining so much value off of all of these interactions. Spawning pillar first and foremost, using the up air to try and get some extra distance. Just not able to get there though. A nice edge guarding route on the side of Ben-El in order to force out a lot of resources very early, prevent the Gimp, cause the Gimp, but you pick it up immediately after.
Yeah, this is the kill confirm that you were talking about earlier. You know, you get them in a hit stun, and then you immediately tether. You don't give them the chance. You fast fall down and catch that up air. And a lot of characters in the air can't really do too much about it. They have to just avoid, try to do something like defensive. There's not a lot of aggressive options you can do in response to that. So, unfortunately, yeah, slow reactions and you're just dead.
Kragg moment, he's able to put out so much. He's just putting out so much damage, putting out the pillar and
Kragg
getting
moment.
But also Kragg moment, pillarless, and pillar was already spawned and you're off stage. Just
like, oh dang it,
Kragg. Kragg lost in the sauce sometimes as Ben-El seems to get, but a 1-1 finish, and it does take the best stage for Maypul off the table, and presumably, thanks for going to Tempest Peak, that. Rockwall is probably banned.
Yeah, no, that was a quick game though. It was like 2 minutes, so it felt like that. We're starting to scrap a little bit, and going to a smaller stage like this, I think that's only going to be even more true. Obviously, Maypul can struggle against Pillar here, can struggle against Rock here. So it is rough, and I can see why Ben-El is choosing it here, because if you don't get laddered like this, you can definitely do a lot of stuff with Kragg, but avoiding the second fair spike as well, good wherewithal to know that that's coming.
Yeah, and it's not something that Sinbad had gone for in either of his ladder routes before, but attempting the double fair in that instance is pretty high value because it could be it can take you as surprise, but Ben-El chose to counterplay it anyway because it's the only way he dies. And managing your death percent is half the battle as Kragg. You want to be living until 130 and higher, 150 even, because you know that Maypul has to commit much harder at those higher percentages.
Right, exactly. It's just like, it's the same thing as like pressing B when you're getting grabbed, because you're like, I don't know if he's gonna special bubble, but I definitely don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna press B anyway. Like, I'm just gonna do that instinctively. All right, but now we get a grab and tries to get the follow up on the tech, but the roll in was good. That's good range on Maypul tech roll in. So obviously Kragg unable to get anything with that down strong. Can't do too much.
Yeah, and that too low percent as well for up throw to be a combo throw quite yet. And it's going to throw off all of the math that Sinbad had. Had one up air and had an up throw, but just did it seemingly in the wrong order. And you need to get that. You need to get to that mid percent before these up air ladders are really going to go crazy. There's an up tilt and air fall. Oh, we're going horizontal this time.
Yeah, you can't jump the gun in these situations. You gotta play it safe, you gotta play it patiently. Catches a spot dodge here. And we almost get the up special, but yeah, we don't lose too much stage control for that, so it's all good. A second chance at an edge guard could be in the works here, but I'm missing out on a backer opportunity, look like, with the fast fall. Obviously, Ben-El gonna set up a pillar, but obviously if Maypul's not underneath you directly, she's just gonna be on the side of the pillar, and then nobody really wins out in that situation.
Been a minute, but Sinbad finally found a tether. It feels like a marking, rather. It feels like we hadn't seen a lot of marks get landed, and partially because Ben-El's been playing against them so fluidly. And you see the results when you actually are able to land a mark. I'm surprised that Sinbad isn't prioritizing it just a little bit more.
Yeah, wasted no time though. I think in that situation, I think once you realize, like, okay, I got the mark, like there's no excuse not to go in right now, especially when you get him off like that. You know you can just go for the consistency of tether nair. One more? Oh, okay. We get the air dodge to try to extend a little bit and delay our fall, but nope, this time back throw, and things can get dicey with the rock throw. Obviously, redrops the pillar to try to catch Maypul off guard, and even then, off this grab on the platform, that was enough, and we managed to take the game. Good stuff to Ben-El.
Yeah, the down throw setting perfectly up on that platform, and it's just a knowledge check at that point. You got to know at those percentages, Kragg down throw hits, forces you into a tech scenario on the platform. Ben-El knew it, and he played exactly into the 3 out of 4, which was forward air hitting, missed tech in place, and tech roll away. Only needed had to tech roll in to survive, and not in the cards.
Right. Hitting the rock while Kragg is standing on top of it, a good way to get him to maybe think twice about setting it down wherever he feels like it. Even then, Lily on the platform, instantly we see the results of such a setup. And yeah, you can tell, like, very quickly, once these setups are put on, like, Sinbad is just going in for the game plan. Like, there's no wait and see. It's like, no, I've set it up, I'm going to use it now.
An excellent recovery route, only to fall right into the awaiting head of that forward strong.
Okay, we get the first fair spike, gets the pillar out in time. No worries on that, just wall jumps to try to delay. But this tether might actually not work out for you. We did go for the special getup.
That was such a beautifully timed pillarless, but we are going to find that forward strong yet again. Never too far out of it, and we're just waiting for Sinbad to explode and find that big conversion that he did in game number 2. But without access to a top platform, you are playing a little bit more of a early percent waiting game, trying to get Kragg away from this 16% number and any amount of damage that could turn the tides. Right. But it's got to be meaningful damage before we can really get the devastating combos unlocked.
Ooh, okay, we actually, we are always pressing that special pummel button. Yeah. Why? Because I don't want that to happen to me. And we don't want to mess around with that. Picks the rock back up, goes for the fair on the rock as well. The rock shard's doing lots of work here to push Sinbad back off stage, but still, he is unperturbed, going right back in with more damage. Tries to hit that, and yes, the snipe with the rock shards. You'll love to see it. Anti-Kragg tech right there, baby.
Rock's got a mind of its own and a body of its own. It can be used against Kragg just as much as used for him, or maybe a little less, but the point still stands.
We'd like to think so, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would like to hope so.
Yeah, that's hoping right there. But yeah, definitely covered. Yeah, we got something here. I don't know. I don't think you're living that one. Yeah, that double jump up air is going to be so good for Kragg to follow up. And even then, Maypul doesn't have a lot of options to deal with. You could probably try to fast fall in there if you really wanted to take an aggressive choice. But sometimes it's just disengage.
32% is not a whole bad though. You do still have access to some things like crouch cancel down tilts and all of the damage that comes with it. Oh, he was correct, but just slightly misspaced it thanks to the tech rolls of Maypul being so good. We're finding ourselves in a scrambly finish here, Nerf, in terms of game number 4. Sinbad trying to survive and potentially keep on the winner's side, but Benno looking to convert this into a grand finals appearance with a winner's side follow-up, but it's not gonna do it. Just one simple tether and one simple up air means the world is your oyster, and that's gonna take game number 4 in a scrambly finish for Sinbad, and game number 5 in tow on Fire Capital.
Yeah, we are. I think this is the first time we're seeing Fire Capital in this top 8. But regardless, I mean, it is not our first game 5. It is only one in a number of them, actually, just because, yeah, this whole bracket has been hotly contested, and this set will be no different. We enter game 5 here, and despite all of the consistent things for Maypul working, you know, Kragg still has a big X factor with a horizontal stage like this one. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but like having long distance for his rock throw, for his spikes are really good. So far, though, I definitely think that Sinbad is keeping a tentative lead.
Yeah, this stage is hard to parse as well in a matchup like this. Like, everything about it screams that Maypul should dominate the stage itself, except for the blast zones. That's always going to be that wrench in the works if Kragg can survive even just one combo or get out of conversion percent, one stock out of the 3. It can really put a thorn in Maypul's side. Nice parry on the Lily as well. But as we see,
sliding parries on Lily have been good.
They're really good. And as we saw previously in the first stock, Sinbad had a ton of control utilizing the wide stage to disengage and really pick where he wanted to interact, but Ben never far behind.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ben L keeping this so contested. Wow, the double spike. This man is going crazy and puts Rock in between Maypul and Lily. Fortunately, just a little bit short of hitting Maypul, but that's okay. It is just set play at this point. Pillar off stage. Not sure what he meant to get off of that, but that's okay. We still get a second chance here. This time we throw the pillar. Forces the break on that from the side special from Maypul, but we still have something here. No Lily on stage, so we have to set that up. We have to get something here because a tether could make things a lot easier to get your damage. As of right now, I feel like the combos just haven't been there for Sinbad.
Man, that's... You know, as we see a little bit of a ladder here from Sinbad trying to potentially end this stock, that's a combo and a half. Right, really getting him right back into this game, and then the down angled forward tilts just to try and stuff things out. Though Ben L gets pillar back, yet the damage is equalized immediately. Up tilt, finding the hit ball in the up air, but no uppercut after.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because you had the setup, and unfortunately, you just didn't go for it, or the execution just wasn't there. Now a quick jump right above ledge height and into the rock throw means that you can go for, again, like these horizontal pressure tools that are so important for Kragg, but he doesn't hit the fair on the rock, so unfortunately all that work is for nothing. Gonna have to just reset, get off this ledge ASAP, and this time we're going high. Not gonna get caught by any of those tether follow-ups either. Rock throw straight up. That's a surprise tool that will help us later. There it is, the payoff.
It came from so deep. Always a funny setup, but you know, it works so frequently, especially given how Maypul has no means of traversing horizontally past that without breaking the pillar. You can just kind of anticipate that this is what's gonna happen. Still, the immediately stock taken afterwards. Maypul not far behind and going for a couple jabs, but not enough hits done in order to stop Kragg from being the just unstoppable force that he is.
Yeah, this has been back and forth, but both of them have taken each other's stock first before the other one, so they've kept it even. But like, Ben L took the first stock first, and obviously Sinbad took the second stock first. So it's tough. I have to figure out how we get past this 110 deficit. Obviously, Kragg can easily kill you here, but you need like 2 or 3 good combos here from Maypul, and you got to avoid all of this stuff. Maybe play the pillar game, play the anti-rock game, and that could be useful. And then it all comes down to Ben L finding the air-to-air. The up air is going to take the game. Game 5 goes to him, and he moves on.
Yeah, an insane set. Game 5 finish, but the fire capital worked out. And you know, it's as both are saying, right? The blast zones and the wide space are just generally going to be favorable to Kragg in longer games, because you need, as Maypul, you need to be on point with your conversions if things are ever going to swing back in your favor. And Ben L continued to do what he had been doing the entire set. Play around the situation that kills you. Take the mix-up,